Hi everybody, all my followers, be welcome to another video. Right, if you follow the channel, you might have seen the video on this car, which I literally just finished it off, and we're going to move into the next problem. Although, on that video, I'll leave a link in the description below, with this video here, as you can see there. I'll leave a link in the description below, and on that video, I've actually showed you the faults with the car initially, at least on the scanner. And as I start to work on the car, I've decided to make a separate video just for the issue we have been sorting. And now I'm about to start the second video on this, which is actually hopefully the repair of that light. I need to go for a drive. I want to see what the car does, and we're gonna give it a quick scan. If I recall correctly, last time I could not communicate with the ECU with the MS908. We're gonna see if I can do today. And but guys, you've seen the faults on the other video, so you might already know what it is. We're just gonna try to see if we can fix this, and yeah, but the first thing I'm really curious to do is to go for a drive, see how the car drives after the repair we have just done on the previous video. Although I have not drove the car before the repair, but I'm guessing improvements could or would be seen now that the repair is done, because the way the car was running was definitely not right. But yeah, so let me scan the car, I'll show you what the faults are, and we'll go from there. And that was not me. I've not been there yet. Anyway, I forgot to tell you, so this is a 2015 Mercedes CLA 220 diesel, obviously. I believe this is the 2 liter or 2.2 liter diesel. I managed to actually communicate with the car this time, including the engine ECU, which was the one I was not able to do. And I did, although this was through an auto scan, as you can see. The last time I tried was just go straight to the engine ECU. The reason why I've tried, there's loads of faults. The reason why I decided to go for a auto scan is because if you've seen the other video, you've seen I was struggling to start the car. And I start to go a couple, as I was trying to crank the car to build to obviously bleed the fuel system. If you watch the other video, you'll know exactly what we did. The battery went low a couple times, and the car started to throw a couple things that I didn't like to see. That's why I put the battery on charge. And so I'm guessing a lot of these faults are going to be related to that, but I'm going to go to the engine ECU just to see if he communicates this time. Let's see if he does, because that's where the MS908 was just getting stuck on this screen. So let me see if he communicates this time, and we'll go from there. And I was actually lying. The screen where it was getting stuck was when you would press to read the trouble codes. It would connect into the ECU, would give you where it shows you ECU information, etc, and live data and all that stuff. And then when you would press trouble codes, that's where the tool would stuck. Guys, the only explanation I have for this is the fact that the MS908 is now 3 years pretty much outdated. I haven't updated the tool for about 3 years now. It's going to be close to 3 years now, and I think it's due to an update. As you've seen on the other video, as soon as I plugged in the IM608, which is up to date, it connected straight away, and we could see the codes. But this time I'm not going to even go to the IM. I'm just going to get Zentry, because if the faults will require any other extra information, we'll be there and then with everything ready. So that's what I'm going to do. Disconnect this, connect the other tool, but never had this with the MS908, don't know exactly, and that's my only thought, is that it is the updates. And literally just around the corner from home, and I've connected Z3, as I said, and as you can see, we have about 10 faults in total. Everything is stored apart from the first two, same as the IM608 showed us on the other video. So everything else, guys, we have here for circuit 87, communication with gear selector, onboard voltage. Even I dropped the voltage on this battery when I was trying to start the car, so we're going to ignore all of this. I'm just going to focus on these two at the top. The output for the circulation pump coolant for transmission cooling has an electrical fault. There is an open circuit. Just remember, guys, I haven't checked fuses, I haven't checked anything on this car other than what I've done on the previous video. And the other one says for the soot content. So what we're gonna do is quickly clear all these codes. Okay, so let's okay, so there we go. So as soon as I start monitoring these two codes, they came back straight away. So we're gonna drive at the end of the road because I'm literally parked in the middle of the road. I don't want to be here in the middle of the road. So we're gonna drive right at the end where I can park on the side, and we're gonna check some live data and see what we are dealing with. Okay, so just parked here, and I was literally just looking through the live data so I could take you through this a little bit quicker rather than me try to figure out things as I'm looking at the live data first time. Some of you guys don't like that. So this is the specific environmental data of the code for the soot content P24623. I think I'm gonna leave the code for the coolant, transmission coolant, whatever, for a separate video, so we don't mix too many things. But for this code, I can tell you straight away that this DPF has been reset. And the way I know is because when we come down here, and you come here and you see main odometer reading since last replacement of diesel particle filter 0, soot content of particle filter 00, everything is 00. Main odometer reading since last regeneration 280 kilometers, that's when it was done the last time. Ash content is reading all zeros, so it looks like this fault was triggered. It looks like this fault was triggered. Let me see what's the odometer reading on this thing. So that's fine. So B2858 was 58 millibars. This was with the engine idling. 58 millibars is definitely a little bit too much. However, so I have a feeling that this DPF has been reset. Okay, so let's gonna go to my live data, and here on my particle filter, what you're gonna be able to see is that, so that's okay. Air mass, yeah, it should be about right, I think. Odometer reading 51,000 kilometers. 51,557. That's definitely wrong because the car is 94,000 miles, so that's not correct. Total regeneration is 46. Main odometer since last regeneration 300 kilometers, so it's pretty much the same as the code. Total distance at last correction of ash content 151,000. Oh, that's about right. Oh, distance, sorry. Ratio 3.9. So that's what's triggering the code, is the fill level of the particle filter. So when the fill level reaches 100, regeneration is initiated. If the condition is satisfied, only 200 regeneration is disabled and the fault is logged. So we could have definitely a bad DPF. However, it's a little bit, because look, I'm having, that's what, 38 millibars idling. It is a little bit high, I'm not going to say it's not. So that's the B28. But let's gonna do this check. So with engine off, as you can see in there, I do apologize for this sort of humming noise, but I have my inverter to keep the laptop charged, and it's a little bit noisy. So if I turn this off, So with the key on, that should be between minus 0.004 and plus 0.04 is all at 0, so that's absolutely fine. Okay, so that's okay. And then that's fine. And then when the combustion engine is running, the actual value must be between 0.022 and 1.2 bars. So let's start this thing again. There we go, 40 millibars. It's a little bit on the high side. I'm not going to say it's not, but it's not that crazy for idling. It is definitely an indication that something is wrong, but if the DPF was completely clogged, that pressure at idling would have been way bigger than this. Okay, so the fact that the car was running the way it was, as you've seen on the previous video, I don't know for how long the car was running like that. That could have definitely messed up all these values. Okay, so we're gonna try to do something with this and see if we can get it fixed. Okay, and now that I managed to actually get that fill of the DPF below 200, I'm gonna now start 100% the regeneration while driving, and I'm gonna see if I have 120 seconds to start now the procedure. Let me put the phone here so you guys can see. So let me press. Okay, that's gonna start driving, and I think it says to put this in manual, eco drive off. Let's go. Okay, so DPF is now at 543 degrees. Now I'm going to drive out of these roads here, and I'm going to go to the main roads so I can keep more of a constant speed while I'm driving. So 514 degrees now. $550. Guys, we all know what the regeneration takes, so I'm not going to be here explaining you. We're just going to carry on driving, and hopefully until we manage to regen this DPF and see what results that brings. Yeah, nearly 600 degrees now. 580. So I haven't showed you, but I'll show you before I start in there. Oops, slow down. So let me just show you. So there he is. That's already started to drop, 395. The regeneration is there, 550 degrees, as you can see. So we're just gonna carry on. And I do apologize, I pressed the wrong button while I was putting the phone on a holder. So at the moment we are driving, and DPF is at about 550 degrees. That's it, we're just gonna carry on. and wait for the procedure to finish. And it is interesting that the car actually requires the speed to be below 50 kilometers per hour, as you can see on this picture. This is the driving conditions that everything is okay for the regeneration to happen. So if I go above 50 miles per hour, I get a warning triangle on the speed. If I, for example, enable the auto start and stop, I get a fault there. So these parameters, they need to be spot on for everything to work. And so far, looks like it's working. We're going to carry on driving and hope for the best. I tell you what, regen on a Mercedes is really boring. Having to keep below 50, I look like an old lady driving around. It's about the third time I'm doing this road now, and yeah, it takes forever. Usually regens, as far as you keep driving at a decent RPMs, the car just carry on doing the regen. But this one, having to drive below 50 miles per hour, which is about 50 kilometers per hour, which is about 32 miles per hour, is not very nice. You see, I get honked at. Oh man, I can't answer the phone now. But yeah, people just flash me as they pass me. Oh man. And the temperatures are now dropping down. Is now at 365 and dropping. So I'm not sure. Normal operation without regeneration. So the regeneration has now stopped. Regeneration okay, do not switch off the engine. Okay, it tells me the regeneration was done successfully, but it tells me not to stop the engine. Obviously, we are going to allow the engine to cool down a little bit, and then we're going to look at the values again, I guess. I'm guessing. But I need to come to a place where I can stop safely and we can get through this. And let me show you these guys. So same screen as before, as you can see, and you can see up there. So I'm gonna scroll all the way from the top down, but the main thing that we are really looking at is right here. So differential pressure 0.002, that's bars, which means it's about 2 millibars. Obviously the field level is at 00 because I've reset the DPF and I've done a regeneration. But look at this back pressure. I don't see nothing wrong with this. If the DPF was truly blocked, one, the regeneration would have not done anything, and two, this pressure wouldn't drop like this. So as you've seen, it was about 40 millibars before, which is definitely high for idling, and now we are at 0.02. I'm gonna accelerate a little bit, just, you see, look at that, perfect. I'm gonna put it at 2000 RPMs. Look at that, 2000 RPMs, 6 millibars. That's an absolutely perfect DPF. I have no concerns whatsoever with this. So I'm just gonna drive back home now and do a good test, because I want to see how the car drives, because I've been driving at 50 miles per hour, which obviously doesn't really show you anything, and I want to see now driving automatic, etc., see how the car drives, how the car performs, and hopefully we'll have a fix for this issue. So let's go. Okay, just drove back home, and as you can see, my engine light came back on. I don't think this is going to be my DPF, because look at my DPF in there. Okay, my back pressure is absolutely perfect. So let's just see why this came back on. Ooh, the output for the pressure in the system is too low. Oh dear. The stored code. That's strange. That's really strange. Okay. I was pulling the car a little bit. The low pressure was fine. Engine speed 2000. Fuel rail actual 1200. Okay, there we go. Look, the car was asking for 1560 and the pump was giving 1274. Oh man, we have other issues with this thing. Okay, could be a fluke because we've been messing with the car. I never pulled the car since I left from here until now, which is when this happened. It could be here in the system from having the injectors out, etc., as you've seen on the previous video. I'm keen to clear the code and go and check some live data to see what it does. Oh, but that will be a completely different issue though. So the DPF problem is sorted, and I'm not going to capture none of that and anything else here. So for the DPF, guys, as you've seen, we fixed the problem. So again, I strongly believe that the reason why that calculated value of on the feeling of the DPF was purely because of how the engine was running before, with all the issues he had. It could have messed up everything, but obviously we'll see now what the car does. But I have no reasons to believe that the car is not going to get to the point where it's going to just perform a regeneration as normal and all that good stuff. And I think it's fixed for now, so obviously the owner will have to keep an eye on it, but I have no reasons to believe that we have any other issues. Obviously we have now other issues. The fuel pressure made the light come on. The other issue with the coolant pump, it didn't throw an engine light. The engine light just came on now when I triggered that other fault, which I'm not sure yet. It could be air in the system somewhere, and as I pulled the car really hard, that air moved out of the way, and it could have falsely tell the issue that was an issue with the fuel. I'm gonna go for a drive, and then on the next video, hopefully for the coolant, if we get that far, I will capture that, or it might be that it's gonna make a completely different video, or it might be that I'm not gonna even make any other videos. And if anything, just read the description of this video and I'll leave some information there if that's the case. So enough of you guys for this problem. I think it's done, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope there's some information here you can find useful. Maybe you learn something, maybe this makes sense to you, maybe it doesn't. If you do still have any questions or any comments, you guys know exactly how it works. Put them right below, and like always, thanks for watching.